Fall sent its warm greetings to the sky. By blowing its winds, the heat waves started to lose dominance over people. Smiles widened due to the temperature fluctuation. Therefore, fall occupied the core of their minds, hearts, and tongues. Days went by and the clouds just arrived to bless nature. Adventure time, I exclaimed. Excitement coursed through my veins, and green landscapes echoed in my head. With unshakable confidence, I looked at my smooth, versatile burgundy motorcycle parked in the yard of my home and dove into thoughts of a thrilling adventure without perils. Hours later, I brainstormed the adventure plan while sitting upright, closing my eyes to look inside my thoughts for the needed tools for all weather conditions. Then I went to the market to buy them, like a motorcycle umbrella, a black helmet, a yellow nylon rain jacket, security locks, some accessories, motorcycle clothes, a saddle, some mechanical tools, a copy of the key, a hand pump, and a phone holder. As the rough time went by, my motorcycle took a fresh shower and underwent some mechanical tests to see that she was at the peak of her health. After passing all this, she filled her stomach with petrol, her favorite and only drink. Next day, I started studying the adventure map of the road, with defensive riding techniques in mind, well-tied baggage on the motorcycle back, and a landscape-oriented phone on the holder. So, the finishing touches of the adventure preparation took place. My chest was all fired up. I flicked the ignition and then the motorcycle roared. Her creepy skull-like pupils shone with multicolors as if she expressed her determination and readiness for all tasks. Donning my black helmet, lowering its clear visor, and buckling its little belt under my chin gave me added incentive to apply the defensive riding techniques I had learned early on. I made several run-throughs of video recording in the same vein, and as a result, everything would go as expected. One Monday morning before starting my adventure, I put my phone in the waterproof case on the back of the holder, and then I opened the camera app to capture the atmospheric energy of the adventure and preserve its soul in my heart for good. Minutes later, I warmed her up. Then I grabbed the handlebars, squeezed the clutch lever, and shifted into first gear. Immediately she left my home yard and flew to the street. During that time, the street wasn't empty. Students in particular were here and there, going to their schools in groups or individually. Some of them were walking shoulder to shoulder with their arms linked, laughing and speaking loudly to each other about school and such. Also, cars were weaving through it non-stop. Some of these cars looked angry. Their tires threw dust granules out of their way and into the air. Despite that, the street was full of potholes. Therefore, opening my eyes wide and riding carefully, especially on such streets, was the right option. Thus, everything would go peacefully. When heading towards the Mercedes, the road was as smooth as ceramic in my eyes, so I revved up the throttle and she cut through the wind. I was stunned by her power and determination to complete her tasks. However, the phone holder case was not as powerful. At high speeds, it was shuddering. Despite that, it stood tall with all its might at the end of the tunnel. Suddenly, the road began twisting like a serpent. On approaching one of its corners, a dump truck was in front of me. Since overtaken on serious corners could cause tragic accidents, I held my breath, scanning the road ahead, and until the perfect moment, I leaned my motorcycle to the corner and gave myself as much as road space as possible. However, some car drivers shrugged their shoulders at such serious corners, relying on their luck that no cars would be coming from the opposite direction. A little while later, I cast a look at mellow yellow and green pumpkins sitting neatly in stacks on the roadside. In the sunshine, they were basking and radiating beauty to all passengers going by. Before reaching Ma'bar area, there was a small wooden fruit stand with Yemeni peaches for sale. Under the shadow of a hat, the peach seller shielded himself from the piercing sun. His hands revealed the battles he had faced in life. However, he had wandering eyes like a raider that scanned and detected everything around him. A few meters away from him, some young men were holding tied-up bags of cad in their fingers, eagerly watching for and waving at passing travelers to encourage them to buy. I stopped right after the young men. They approached me and untied their bags. Inside each bag, the cat was meticulously packed. Its branches were interwoven like a delicate latticework, creating a visual delight. Also, the cat leaves were soft and fresh, invitingly vibrating. Suddenly, the Yemeni peaches seller dashed towards me like a chicken with its head cut off. He was looking deeply at the umbrella. After that, he saw the phone holder and wanted to know what it was, then yanked it off. With a blink of an eye, the whole case was in his hands. My face flamed with anger. He was at a loss for words. Or he said that he just wanted to know what it was. Then one of the cat sellers told his older brother to come. As he came and knew that, we compromised that I would get a part of its price. In exchange, I took around 1.5 kilos of his fruit, put the screwed part of the case and the case itself in my coat pocket, and then haggled over some bags of cat and bought them. With a scattered mind and a heavy heart, I resumed my adventure. When I reached Ma'bar, I stopped at a grocery store to buy glue. Its owner was a young man wearing a thobe and a scarf around his head like a ring. Out of curiosity, he asked me about my destination. When he found out that, he asked again in astonishment, "Are you gonna ride in Usab Mountains?" Minutes later, I used the glue in the screwed part and the broken area of the case and let them rest together for some time, and clung to a ray of hope that would fix the holder. Then I continued on my way. As I neared the nursery, I checked the case and it was okay. My heart danced with pleasure. I put the case back in its place and stopped for about 20 minutes to recharge my energy and check the next step of the road using Google Maps. A few kilometers away, I turned right into Al Husseiniya Road. It was straight to begin with. On either side, fields lit up in green. I raised the visor to enjoy even more of the greenery and the gentle breezes of pure air. But the wind blew hard in my face and pushed my head back. I gave in and lowered it after about a minute. About half an hour later, a motorcyclist came closer to me and our speeds were almost the same. He was wearing a light orange shirt. He looked like a native of that area. While riding, we struck up a conversation about the umbrella and my destination. I told him to Usab, and he looked incredulous. "It is not the Himalayas," I said with a hint of a smile. I couldn't understand him at that moment. After a little while, the road began inclining, declining, and curving slightly. Potholes and bumps were countless and fewer cars were driving on it. In that area, black and white donkeys were standing almost in the middle and on the sides of the road. While riding a little faster, a Hilux pickup with a box in its trunk stopped unexpectedly without warning signs. I felt something would go wrong and downshifted to reduce my speed. As I approached the pickup, a black mule slowly crossed the road. I thanked God afterward for my safety and kept going. About 8 kilometers from Ottoman, in a slightly sloped area near a corner, some reckless boys were playing with an orange ball on the road. In their eyes, the road was like a long football field. They lived in their moments as if dangers had ascended to the heavens. I kept going to my district, and to my surprise, the landscape was unbelievable. Everywhere your eyes wandered, you could see the greenery. A few kilometers later, I entered the Ottoman Nature Reserve. It was even greener. I stopped there in a mind-blowing scene. A mini waterfall carved its way through a hilltop. The birds of the waterfall were music to my ears.
رهيبة 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 جدا. الله.
I enjoyed it for about a few minutes, then I rode at a slow pace to savor every second there. As I approached the edge of Wasab, the road became so rugged. It felt like nature had woven its intricate snares, presenting me with challenges to win over one after another. On a downhill slope near a corner was a small loose stone half hidden in the dirt. I leaned the motorcycle while taking the corner, and the front wheel hit the stone. She got dizzy for a second and stumbled over, so she lost balance and tipped over to the side. The umbrella was slightly hurt, and the phone holder got bumped. I was as tired as a night owl in the morning. I didn't want to use my remaining energy to lift the motorcycle on my own, so I asked a short young man nearby for help, and he helped me. The man was wearing a thobe and a black coat. After chatting with him, I took the slope in neutral gear and off. As I was about to reach the bottom of it, I brushed the shift lever and it got into first gear. The rear wheel kissed the ground so hard, she almost lost balance again. At the last moment, I held her and the young man rushed to help me again. He asked if something was wrong. I explained what had happened, thanked and left him. In that area, there was a mini waterfall running down gently, which was pleasing to the eye. I paused there for a few minutes to fill my lungs with its earthy scent of happiness and kept on my way. More than 20 kilometers. I was conquering it through, feeling as if my heart wanted to fly to the end of the adventure. Time was crawling as slowly as a languid turtle. Despite the beauty of nature, most of my focus was on the road, which felt like the longest one of my life. When I said goodbye to that rugged road, exuberance rekindled in my blood and energy rejuvenated in my body automatically. I was as active as a flying bird, greatly determined to reach the highest part of Wasab, Adan. According to some sources, Adan mountain is 3,500 meters high. It is the second highest one in the Middle East. In my opinion, its name conveys that the clouds draw under its peak. Therefore, Adan would be interpreted proximity mountain in literal term. I approached the top of the mountain, and it was breathtaking. When I walked through the difficult Adan Pass, with its twists and turns, drops of rain began knocking on the umbrella, and the wind carried some of them to my clothes. I stopped dipping my hand into my baggage to pull out the rain jacket and put it on. Gentle wisps of fog drifted quietly, but soon thickened, shrouding everything in its veil. The gentle breeze caressed my heart and brought a smile to my face. While sloping down on this majestic mountain, some naughty boys were playing football on its road, as if they were in a different world. About 40 minutes later, I reached the Ruth Market, which connects Usab Al-Ali to Usab Al-Safil. So it was a vital one. At that moment, I began thinking of another two-wheeled adventure. The thought of climbing a Sawad mountain was ringing in my head. Its road looked smooth and cobblestone, but friendly to me. Suddenly, my phone rang. The caller was unknown. Hello Marwan, I'm a motorcycle rider and your maternal uncle Adam gave me your phone number. It is better to park your motorcycle in the market and I will take you from there. I replied to him, thank you fellow, I'm ready for a Sawad mountain and following a map. Not just a minute later, my phone rang again. The caller was my maternal uncle Adam. He didn't recommend taking the next adventure. I looked again at the cobblestone road and wondered, would it be steeper than Musab's edge?